everyone. My name is Patrick. You're watching the Oilers Rundown. Apologies, haven't got an update to you for a couple days, but it's been pretty quiet here in oil country. Negotiations continue between the Edmonton Oilers and Tampa Bay Lightning regarding prospect Isaac Howard. He's the Hobey Baker winner, a fantastic young prospect. The Edmonton Oilers would love to add him. He's a guy that could potentially join the lineup as soon as this year if they could get a deal done, but right now, he won't be an unrestricted free agent until August of 2026. So the Tampa Bay Lightning, not in any hurry. The Edmonton Oilers have offered up a first round draft pick. According to the 2 Months Hockey podcast, they may have increased that with another draft pick or a prospect or something like that. But as of now, nothing to report trade wise between those two teams. So we may see Isaac Howard become an Edmonton Oiler this summer, but it could very well lead to nothing for the time being. But I'll continue to monitor that one, and I'll let you guys know if we do get any more updates regarding him. Insider Elliot Friedman on the final episode of the 32 Thoughts podcast for this season gave us a few Edmonton Oilers tidbits today. At Oiler Alert summed them up nicely here. Arbitration and offer sheet risks pushed Evan Bouchard's contract to $10.5 million AAV. Elliott mentioned it could have come in around $9.5 million, but the Carolina Hurricanes were right there waiting to issue an offer sheet to Bouchard. They end up doing one to Keandre Miller with the New York Rangers instead. So we get Bouchard at 10.5, but I can live with that one and happy to have him locked in for the next 4 seasons. The Toronto Maple Leafs also had interest in Andrew Mangiapane, but of course he took the Edmonton Oilers offer. I think he was a fantastic pickup for the team this year. The Oilers went to everyone with no trade clauses, including Darnell Nurse, Adam Henrique, and Victor Arvidsson, but only Victor Arvidsson was willing to waive his no-trade clause. So Darnell Nurse was, of course, a big topic of interest here going into the free agent frenzy. Could we see a deal there? A lot of people thought Bob Stauffer was hinting at it, but Bob Stauffer shot that down, and GM Stan Bowman has officially said that Darnell Nurse isn't going anywhere. So that's a dream that will have to die for now for some Edmonton Oilers fans. So Darnell Nurse isn't going anywhere, and it doesn't look like Adam Henrique is either. His name also came up in trade discussions around free agent frenzy, but the Oilers, I think, are still looking to create some cap space somewhere, so I would keep an eye on Matthias Janmark. As I was mentioning in my last video, the Oilers do have some extra forwards there, so I think Matthias Janmark is expendable. If the Oilers can free up that extra $1.45 million by moving out his contract, they have some more options and can accrue some extra cap space during the season to use at this year's trade deadline. Elliott also mentioning once again that the Edmonton Oilers will be bringing in a new goalie coach and that we may see the same tandem return for the Edmonton Oilers. There were some reports that the Oilers were going to bring back Stuart Skinner, but possibly move out Calvin Pickard. It looks like Skinner and Pickard coming back is on the table right now. We know the pickings out there on the free agent market and even trade-wise for goaltenders just are not there right now for who's available. I'm sure GM Stan Bowman has turned over every stone and hasn't found anything to his liking at this point. The trade deadline, I think, is looking more likely if the Oilers do make a goaltending change, but maybe at this point they bring in somebody to challenge in a three-way duel in training camp, and the winner obviously backs up Stuart Skinner, and the loser would go down to Bakersfield on waivers. But we'll see what happens there. One situation I would think is worth monitoring is with the Anaheim Ducks. They have Peter Mrazek and Ville Husso both under contract. Mrazek at over $4 million, Husso at over $2 million, and they still have to sign Lucas Dostal. So I can't see them keeping 3 goaltenders at that price tag. Don't know if Peter Mrazek is really an upgrade on Calvin Pickard, but I have a feeling Mrazek may be available if the Oilers want to entertain maybe a 50% retention. The Anaheim Ducks do have one retention spot left, so that is an option they could consider. And lastly, Elliott pointing out that Connor McDavid will be staying. He has no concerns whatsoever of Connor McDavid moving on from the Edmonton Oilers at this point, and I tend to agree there. I think it's going to be probably a 4-year deal for Connor, similar to Evan Bouchard. If the Oilers can get Connor on a 4-year deal, have him locked in for the next 5 years, I'll be happy. But obviously the ideal is to get him to do an 8-year deal like Draisaitl, but with the way the NHL is going right now with contracts, with the salary cap rising, I think it's going to be really hard to get Connor locked into an 8-year deal. But hopefully that is something he is willing to entertain. But no matter what, Connor McDavid shouldn't be going anywhere at the current time. And I'm expecting right now a 4-year deal for Connor McDavid. But hopefully I'm wrong, and it is higher on the year end. Just another note here as well, the Edmonton Oilers released their 2025-2026 preseason schedule. It opens on Sunday, September 21st with a split squad game with the Calgary Flames, half the team going to Calgary, half the team coming to Edmonton. Continues on Tuesday, September 23rd against Winnipeg, Wednesday, September 24th against Seattle, Friday, September 26th versus Winnipeg once again, Sunday, September 28th at Vancouver, Wednesday, October 1st at Seattle, Friday, October 3rd concludes once again against the Vancouver Canucks. All the times for those games are still to be announced. So that is pretty much all the latest there, guys. I am expecting some coaching news this week. We know Glenn Gulutzan has left to go to the Dallas Stars. We know the Oilers are getting a new goalie coach, and I imagine one of Mark Stewart or Paul Coffey will also be moving on here. So we may get those announcements this week. GM Stan Bowman said Chris Knobloch was already working on finding new replacements on the coaching staff. So, like I said, I don't think those announcements are too far away, and we may potentially see a trade for Matthias Janmark, but I imagine that might not happen until later when teams kind of know what their roster looks like a bit better and where a guy like Matthias Janmark would potentially fit. But like I said, that's pretty much all for now, guys. Let me know your thoughts on all the recent developments. Where do you think Connor McDavid comes in at? Do you think that deal gets done this month, August, September? Let me know your thoughts and predictions in the comment section below. If this is your first visit to the channel and you like what you see, please consider liking and subscribing for all the latest Oilers content. You've been watching the Oilers Fanatic. Thanks for being a fan.